Imagine growing up in a world where chaos is the norm. Addiction casts a shadow over every day. Abandonment leaves you searching for stability. And betrayal shakes the very foundation of who you are. For most, these would be insurmountable obstacles. For Demi Moore, they were the beginning of a journey, one that would see her rise from the ashes and become one of Hollywood's most enduring icons. Born in Roswell, New Mexico, in 1962, Demi Moore entered life with a backdrop of turbulence. Her father abandoned the family before she was even born, leaving her mother to face the world alone. Yet, her mother's struggle with alcoholism meant that stability was always just out of reach. At the age of 13, Demi experienced a revelation that would further shake her sense of self. She discovered that the man she had always called Dad wasn't her biological father. Imagine the confusion, the sense of displacement, the feeling of being unmoored from your own history. These early years were marked by uncertainty, but they also planted the seeds of resilience. If you believe in second chances and in the power to rise from the ashes, Demi Moore's story will move you. Because it's not just about surviving chaos, it's about transforming it into strength. At 18, Moore took her first bold step toward reinvention. She married musician Freddie Moore and adopted his last name, a symbolic act that marked her attempt to define her own identity, separate from the turmoil of her childhood. The world of entertainment beckoned, and she answered. Her earliest roles were modest, bit parts on television, testing the waters of an industry known for its unforgiving nature. But it was clear even then that Demi was different. She possessed a drive and vulnerability that set her apart. Her breakthrough came in the 1980s with St. Elmo's Fire, a film that captured the spirit of a generation. Audiences connected with her raw emotional depth, and Hollywood took notice. But it was Ghost, released in 1990, that catapulted her into global superstardom. The film was a phenomenon, touching hearts around the world and casting Moore as one of the most sought-after actresses of her time. The ascent was steep and rapid. By the mid-1990s, Demi Moore was the highest-paid actress in Hollywood, a status cemented by headline-making roles in films like Striptease and G.I. Jane. She became synonymous with bold choices and powerful performances, often taking on roles that challenged conventional expectations of women in film. Yet, the glare of the spotlight brought new challenges. Behind the scenes, Moore was battling addiction, heartbreak, and the relentless scrutiny of the public eye. The tabloids were merciless, dissecting her every move, her relationships, her choices. Fame, it seemed, was a double-edged sword. Through it all, Moore remained unapologetically herself. She confronted her demons head-on, speaking openly about her struggles with addiction and her journey toward healing. The courage it takes to face one's past, especially under the unblinking gaze of the media, cannot be underestimated. Moore's willingness to share her vulnerabilities made her a beacon for others experiencing similar battles. She didn't just survive, she transformed. And if Demi Moore can rise from chaos, maybe you can too. After years away from the limelight, Moore's story took another dramatic turn. In 2024, she returned to the screen with a performance that would redefine her career. The film, The Substance, was unlike anything she had undertaken before, a bold body horror piece directed by Coralie Fargeet. Moore played Elizabeth Sparkle, a former A-list star desperate to reclaim her youth. The role demanded not just physical transformation, but an emotional excavation of what it means to age, to yearn, and to face the grotesque consequences of those desires. Critics hailed the film for its audacious storytelling and Moore's fearless portrayal. It was, in many ways, a mirror to her own journey, confronting the darkness, embracing the pain, and emerging stronger for it. The impact of The Substance rippled beyond the screen. At the 82nd Golden Globe Awards in January 2025, Moore received the award for Best Performance by a female actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. This was her first Golden Globe win, a moment both triumphant and poignant. In her acceptance speech, Moore spoke not just of her gratitude, but of the importance of self-worth at every stage of life. She reminded the world that transformation is not reserved for the young, that the power to reinvent oneself exists at any age. Her victory was especially significant in the context of Hollywood's history with the horror genre. Performances in horror films are rarely recognized by major awards, with the last such win at the Golden Globes occurring in 2007, when Johnny Depp was honored for Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. Moore's recognition underscored her enduring talent and highlighted a shift in how the industry values bold, transformative performances, regardless of genre. The ripple effect of Moore's comeback has been profound. Suddenly, audiences and critics alike are revisiting her body of work, appreciating the risks she took and the trail she blazed for women in Hollywood. Her willingness to tackle challenging, even controversial roles has cemented her status as a resilient and influential figure. Moore's journey is a testament to survival, reinvention, and unapologetic strength, a reminder that icons are not born, but forged in the crucible of experience. If this story inspired you, imagine what's next. The ascent is never easy, but it is always possible. Demi Moore's path from chaos to icon shows us that transformation doesn't just happen, it's chosen, moment by moment, day by day. Her legacy is not just in the films she made, but in the lives she touched by sharing her truth. Stay tuned for more real stories with real impact, because if Demi Moore can rise from chaos, so can you.